Hello there, I'm Begalius, and I'm a huge Remedy fan. I'm a big Remedy fan. I love Remedy games. One of my favorite studios, current day, maybe like top 3. You know, I absolutely love Remedy. I've already gassed their games up so far this year on this channel. Alan Wake 2 was my game of the year for last year, and I already talked about how much I love Alan Wake 1. But I really do love Remedy. I even love Quantum Break. I thought Quantum Break was a lot of fun. I actually had a really good time with it and quite impressive. I liked it a lot until I did the hardest difficulty run, and then literally on the final set piece of the final mission, the game crashed and wiped my save. Until that point, I had a very good time with the game. I really liked Quantum Break. There you go, I'm that guy. So Control. This was the 2019 Remedy game, and the reason I bring up their back catalogue is because firstly, they're auteurs to an extent. I think they are. They're like a studio version of an auteur, and I feel like their games are this like pyramid where everything is like building up to like this ultimate Remedy game, and it just like collects pieces and collects pieces and collects pieces, because I know that not every game is technically a sequel to the other, although I think they are set in the same universe. I know RT is in Control and in Alan Wake 2, great character, and yeah, I feel as though like it just amalgamates things and things and things and things as it goes along, and you see like little aspects of other Remedy games in the, you know, in the next Remedy game, and they usually do it tremendously well. Like, you had the a lot of the gameplay stuff from Alan Wake was then implemented into Quantum Break. Quantum Break brought like the powers and the world movie stuff, like, you know, shifting the world around. There is a lot of Control in Alan Wake 2, in the like shifting in the shifting like universes and viewpoints and stuff like that, and like silhouettes in the sky guiding you as you go along, and a very mind-bendy story where you spend a lot of the time just like, am I in my mind right now, or am I where you know, there's a lot of that in Control and also in Alan Wake 2. I would say the big difference between Alan Wake 2 and Control is that Alan Wake 2, they took the like the world stuff, the environmental stuff, and like blew it up to encompass most of the canvas, whereas with Control, some of that is pulled back a little bit for the sake of having great gameplay. The gameplay is a stronger focus in Control excuse me, than Alan Wake 2, and I'm happy that that's the case. I wouldn't want every, despite the fact that Alan Wake 2 is my favourite Remedy game, I wouldn't want every Remedy game to be Alan Wake 2. And I think the sacrifices were good here because the gameplay is just excellent. There's a sense of balance to the gameplay that just works tremendously well, and that it's the sort of beauty and simplicity. You get one weapon and you can augment it to work however you'd want it to. And you get powers too. You get like these force-like powers and stuff like that, and they're great. Like I said, you know, just shifting the world around and just picking something up and throwing it at someone is very basic, but being able to do it using like these superpowers from a distance just is a lot cooler. I don't know, it just makes the gameplay feel a little bit different. Rather than just shooty, you have a different way to interact with the world. Of course, you have like a melee and a dodge and stuff like that. The enemies can have quite a bit of health, so you do have to like chip away at that. And taking cover is not the easiest thing to do in this game, and I'm not really sure if it is a viable option really ever in the game. So you do have to find ways to, you know, interact with the combat differently, and I think they sort of force that in a way that is very good. So that's great. I really like the combat. I will say that I think the world is maybe a lot more interesting in Alan Wake 2. One of the only drawbacks in this game is that it can become very like claustrophobic and oppressive with like, okay, you know, the brutalism aesthetic of these offices and what have you is great and very interesting, but at times you do just sort of beg for, you know, something a little bit of fresh air, something maybe a little bit different, some rain or some sky or something, and you never really get it in this game, and I understand that that's kind of the point. And when you consider that, I guess I can't really, you know, like take anything away from the game for presenting it in that way, because that's kind of the point. It's supposed to make you feel closed in and like you can never leave, but that feeling does become quite oppressive after a while. It follows the like Dark Souls style of gameplay that was Apparently in 2019 you were not allowed to make a game that wasn't either a looter shooter or a Dark Souls-esque style game, so even frickin' Remedy jumped into it. I think they did it well, I mean, as well as they could. It's the standard formula. You have areas where you rest, and when you rest there, all of the enemies come back, and you can fast travel from area to area to area to area, and you get your health back when you rested the area. And I think it saves or something like that. I will say that, like, the game can be a little bit confusing. I think that would be one of the only other key drawbacks. Excuse me, not in terms of narrative, but in terms of, like, there are a lot of instances in this game where you will sort of go, where do I go? And I do get the sense that that is sort of used a little bit to pad the runtime at times. I don't really... I mean, this is something that Remedy aren't really strangers to, so I guess I could bring it up in every Remedy review, but you do spend quite a bit of time going, like, which room is it? Maintenance? But with the pumps, you know, you do spend quite a bit of time doing that. But I mean, it's forgivable. The game is absolutely fantastic. It's a great game. I'm not 100% sure. I'm between two scores at the moment, so I'm not going to say what the score is yet. And then I'm just going to chuck it in. So this is the score that I would like to give the game. Yep. That's the one I went with. It's a great game though, absolutely recommend it. It's on Game Pass. The Ultimate Edition is on Game Pass. One great thing about this is that you can actually go back and get the achievements again. So I went through and did another playthrough and got all of the achievements for playing the game, and plus you get all the DLC. So that's pretty great. So that's that, and I'll see everyone later.
The PlayStation is only $149, and you can also get leading titles.